Very warm, almost summer-like conditions for this weekend. Though I also want to nerd out about the Northern Lights. We're having a very nerdy show today, aren't we? The Northern Lights tonight looking so likely, and it could be one of the most spectacular events in the last 20 years. So let's cover that. First of all, just the raw forecast here. And I had to put a lot of green on this map because there are plenty of areas in the northern U.S., even as far south as Kansas City to Denver and Fort Collins, Colorado, that could see it, barring outside of the cities in the metro areas. But this is a pretty wide area, and the forecast is looking amazing for it. But it's the solar storm itself that is actually quite strong. It's forecasted to be in that severe to high to extreme levels. We use what's called the KP index, and at an 8 or a 9, that's about as high as it goes. So that is forecasted at around 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. or about midnight or so would be the best hour or two, but really all night long will give you any kind of opportunity to see it in the first place. And as we have been looking at the sun, again, through special equipment, there's this huge sunspot that has just ejected a lot of its solar matter. We call those coronal mass ejections, or CMEs. And there were actually a series of 5 of them in a row, and it's that sequence that has gotten this forecast as strong as it has been since the year 2005. So that's why it very well could be an incredible event tonight. Plus, the weather should be incredible as well. I love to talk about it, especially when we know the skies are going to be clear, as they are right now. Sunny during the day, clear at night, about as perfect as you want it to be to do any stargazing, or in this case, some aurora borealis hunting out there. I am using an umbrella, but right now the precipitation type is anything but rainfall. Yeah. It is all hail. And now it's kind of like a hail grapple half and half mix right now, Brandon. It is actually quite incredible to experience this from our South Hill studios right now, but the ground completely wet based on this frozen precipitation one way or another. In fact, right now it's a lot lighter than it was just 2 minutes ago. So we're going to jump right into Doppler radar. Everything being plotted as showers via the radar site itself, but the observations with my own 2 eyes, again, all hail and or graupel at the moment. So we are right there. We're underneath one of these exact showers that isn't even over downtown or Northtown. That is how small a lot of these showers are, but obviously it can be very intense for about 2 to 5 minutes at a time. So just keep your wits about you today. Same story, looks like showers, graupel, hail, and kind of all the way down the Palouse. And these showers are becoming actually quite populous all across the inland northwest. So weather that looks like this is going to be quite common for the next few hours. But boy, did it get a lot colder. It is 42 right now where it is not precipitating. It certainly feels like it went well down into the 30s at the moment during this precipitation. So coming up, I'm going to detail how much longer this type of weather is going to stick around for and your updated Bloomsday forecast. That's all in just a couple minutes. These were the most severe wind gusts we've had of the year, and it's not even close. Spokane getting a 61-mile-per-hour wind gust reported out at the airport, but it was even stronger on the Palouse, almost 70-mile-per-hour winds. And I know you may be thinking, well, the forecast was up to 50 miles per hour, so how did we get this strong? The answer to that is the thunderstorms that we had yesterday. It's the outflow winds that basically took what was already a 50-mile-per-hour wind and then just upped it up another notch or two. So that's why we got the severe winds yesterday, because we had thunderstorms to help to amplify that by just another factor. Obviously, the winds were going to pick up the dust anyways, but at that severity, it created a more severe style of dust storm. Looks like this could be considered a haboob, which is something that you'd see in Arizona or West Texas, desert Southwest. It looks to be of that severity, and the pictures that we're seeing out of the Palouse certainly resemble that kind of weather pattern. It's just that wall of dust that is extending all the way out towards the horizon. The National Weather Service is going to pore over the data and basically classify it as that or not once we have all the information. But again, the pictures are absolutely stunning, but obviously that was quite dangerous with the low visibility from yesterday. We head up towards Colbert, where the wind gust did cause quite a bit of tree damage. This would be the reason why we had thousands of people without power last night, and still is the case in some locations as of this morning. So the cleanup is still underway even though the worst of the weather is definitely behind us. This is the cold front responsible for the high winds, the thunderstorms, and the dust storms from yesterday, but that's well over Montana as of right now. And obviously skies are clearing up, but our temperatures are cooling down very significantly. In fact, we're already 20 degrees colder right now compared to 24 hours ago. That will almost carry over into the afternoon with our highs in the upper 60s and low 70s across the inland Northwest today, as opposed to the summer-like 80s and upper 80s that we had the last 2 days. So a much more pleasant fall-like day ahead of us. Sunny skies and a high right around 70 today, and it will warm back up to the low 80s on Saturday. Yeah, Laura, it is so wet out here. Even if I wasn't on TV, today is one of those rare days where you do want the umbrella. But let me tell you, in these past 5 minutes, it has started to snow here from our outdoor weather center. It picked up from about a 5% snowfall to almost like a 30% snow in that rain-snow mix. So our temperatures are dropping so fast right now, mostly in part because of this rainfall. Actually, as I look off to the side, it's almost like 50% rain-snow mix right now. It is cooling off that fast right now. So let's jump right into Doppler radar. Doppler radar has that blue, these snow-shaded areas over Spokane County, because when you get rain, it tends to cool off the atmosphere. Well, we were 48 degrees this morning. It's 37 right now, and that starts to get to the point where we could very well have snow. And I'm telling you, this is all snow right now. I'm not even getting wet. This is just all snow as I stand here from our outdoor weather center. That is how quickly it is changing. It is all snow along Highway 2 from Airway Heights past Davenport and Wilbur. So we are transitioning quickly from not just a warm and wet event, but now into a colder and snowfalled event. So we're going to track how much longer. We'll see the precipitation either way today, let you know how cold this upcoming March weekend is going to be. And that is just one instance of the devastation that was noted across western Washington from this storm. It's known as a bomb cyclone, and I described it yesterday as meteorological perfection. The intensity of this storm was no joke. In fact, this was likely the strongest windstorm in the Seattle area in the last 18 years. We saw wind gusts of 60 miles per hour around Seattle, and one of the buoys that is directly underneath that low pressure center recorded a wind gust of 100 miles per hour, basically directly underneath the low pressure center. What makes this a bomb cyclone? The definition of it is the minimum pressure, the low pressure, drops by 24 millibars in less than 24 hours. This storm dropped 66 millibars, almost 3 times above what the definition of a bomb cyclone is. So that rapid intensification gives it a quite venomous sting in terms of the wind speeds. All of that, though, contained on the west side here in the inland Northwest. We were spared from the worst of the winds, but some wind gusts were noted up to about 40 miles per hour around Whitman County from this storm, which is 500 to 600 miles away from Spokane.